What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.
At NBS, we believe in banking for life. For over 160 years, we've been a trusted banking provider for generations of locals like you. We know our clients personally and build long-term relationships with them, offering flexibility by giving our staff freedom to make quick decisions to put them first. Experience banking for life with NBS.
Welcome to Bay's Joinery Football Focus, your go-to for everything football on the top of the South. I'm Chris Butler and joined by my co-host once again, Ryan Skippy Stewart. Good to have you back, Skippy.
Good to see you, Chris.
And today we're delighted to have Neil Connell, who is from Nelson Suburbs. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Skippy. Pleasure to be back.
Yeah.
I did it last time, so.
Big thanks to our naming rights sponsor, Bay's Joinery, George Molnar and his team. Place to go for all your joinery needs. Hoping to get George in if we can get hold of him at some point.
Busy man.
Talk about his playing days and, of course, the joinery business. And a big thanks to our venue sponsor, the Turf Hotel Stand, and the team. They're working hard over there on this weekend. Live music, it's the place to be. Friday night, they've got Kick. On Saturday, they've got X2Z. And also on Sunday, UFC 300 here. All the action. And if you're hungry on Sunday, the batch has a buffet, 11 till 2 and 5 till 8. So there you go. Come down. You won't be training, will you? So it'll be a rest day for you.
Day off, might actually get down for that.
Yeah, that's right. This week's episode would delve into senior men and women's local premiership. We've got the Southern League men's and women's, got some international football updates and the latest from New Zealand football, and of course the premiership as it gets to the pointy end of the season. But let's look at senior football, brought to you by Sheehan Financial, KiwiSaver Insurance and Financial Playing. Ever played against, you would have played with Mark, did you, or did you play against him?
Played against him a couple of times.
Have you?
Haven't actually played with him.
Actually, because he said he coached the Suburbs first team.
Yeah, he took
one
the Division 1 side, yeah, 1 year. Yeah, he did.
I think that was
you
just
might have
before-
been FC Nelson then,
Yeah, I think I was actually. It's just before I went to Suburbs. Yeah.
And then you both swapped.
And then we
Went
swapped.
the opposite ways.
That's right. Thanks to Mark and the team. Nelson Pine Senior Women's Premiership, and it all starts this weekend, lads. So that's fantastic. And let's get into it. Get Cars FC Nelson Diamonds taking on the Golden Bay Shield Maidens at Neil Park. Skippy, your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I know that FC I know TJ's been online trying to recruit some players. I think they were a little bit short,
Yes.
but I think they've managed to get it over the line, which is superb. I
Yeah.
know ourselves had sort of told a few females that they would probably get more game time there if they went. So I think we've tried to help. I also think Tahuna have done the same, which is brilliant to see. And yeah, brilliant if they can get a team out on Saturday.
Shield Maidens went all right last year, didn't they? They improved, so that's going to be a tough game, potentially.
Yeah, because there's going to be a big group of new players.
Yeah.
If they've been bringing them in late. So
Yeah.
that could be one for Golden Bay to get after.
Are you calling it?
Yeah, I'd say Golden Bay.
Oh,
yeah.
Phil will be happy with you.
Yeah.
Neil, Motueka Angels versus the Nelson Suburbs Swans.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard not to be biased here, but Motueka Angels have to say they never defaulted. They always fielded a team, but they did struggle last year. I guess another season, so who knows?
Yeah, it might be a bit of a struggle. I know from the Nelson Suburbs point of view that speaking with Shelley, they've got huge numbers in that squad this year. New coaching as well, Noah. He's from Denmark. Great guy, puts a lot of time in. So yeah, I can't see past the Nelson Suburbs one there in the first one.
Sprig and Fern Tahuna Breakers taking on the hothouse Creative Richmond Foxes. Now, the news here is that John Slotmaker isn't coaching.
Yes, John's in Australia.
He's in Australia.
What I heard about a month ago. Yeah,
That's right.
He's sold up and moved to Australia.
Now, and so I think that there's probably quite a few changes. I don't know about the player base. I don't know whether that team has changed, but Yeah, it's going to be a different kettle of fish, but they take on the Tahuna Breakers at Tahunanui.
Yeah, I think they've kept most of the core of their squad. I know Joe McIntyre, who was involved with the men's team last year, is helping at the moment with coaching the team. So yeah, our reserves played them on Tuesday night, lost 4-2 to them. So I think they're still quite strong.
Right.
So yeah, I would expect the Foxes to be up there again this season and competing.
Yeah,
to win the title.
And I'm pretty sure Mark was saying his colleague plays for Tahuna. So
they've got
so
a
she
few
actually is a
players.
sponsor of the show. So we better say I'll pick Tahuna.
Good lad.
So Nelson Pine, Premiership Division 1. 3:00 kickoff. Yeah, it's all going now, isn't it?
You've got the Suburbs reserves ladies in there.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
well.
reserves versus Mark. I missed that out. Sorry, apologies for that. So, Neil, you can call that one again. It's going to be easier to be a neutral, isn't it?
Yeah, a very young side. Obviously, the Suburbs reserves. I actually watched this fixture last season. I think Suburbs, they won quite comfortably in the end. I think it was 6 or 7. But yeah, very young team. Even younger this year with some of the girls in there. But yeah, I would imagine a Suburbs win there as well. To be honest, in that first one.
Nelson Pine Men's Premier Division 1. It also starts this weekend, kick-off at 3:00. Rangers taking on Nelson Suburbs Reserve. So a bit like the women's, this is the young side, is that right, that is feeding into the Southern League?
Yeah, it is, but I think we'll have a little more experience in there this season as well. Like Sam Ayers, 1 or 2 other boys that are trying to compete for obviously the SPL side will be in that team. And yeah, we've got huge competition for places this season, actually. So should be a very strong Suburb squad going over there to play that game, I would imagine.
Wow. So Rangers always strong at home. So
it's a tough place to go.
It is a tough place to go, but are you feeling reasonably confident, Neil?
Yeah, my old club over there in Blenheim. They will be strong. The guys were over there just playing in a Johnny Columbus Memorial Tournament last weekend. We sent 2 sides over and the boys came out on top in that tournament. But it will be a tough game. It always is a tough game over there. So hopefully the weather's okay. And yeah, I think the Suburbs will come out on top on that one.
FC Nelson are taking on Sprig and Fern Tahuna at Guppy Park. And, Sprig and Fern Tahuna always competitive, aren't they?
Yeah,
and they can cause some updates. But FC Nelson is on their home turf.
Yeah, again, FC, we played them in pre-season. With 2-0, but they did quite well. They defended quite well. Brady had them well organised. So again, at home as well, I can't see FC Nelson losing that one, to be fair.
New sponsor, Smith & Sons, Richmond. Well done to them, getting a new naming rights sponsor. They're taking on the newly promoted FC Nelson Carini. That's at Jubilee Park. So Richmond, always competitive, usually got quite a lot of young players, don't know much about the side this year.
Yeah, Carini, we played them again. We played them in pre-season as well. Very fit, very athletic, skillful, very quick. So I'm not too sure about Richmond this season. I don't know too much about them to be perfectly honest. But looking at FC Nelson Carini, I think they'll be very strong in that league this season. They combined, am I right? They combined.
Yeah, so Chin United and Carini merged together.
Yeah,
so quite a lot of good players there, a good pool to pick from. So yeah, I think they'll be difficult to play against this year.
Yeah, they'll be a decent side. So for me, I will go with Carini there, I think.
Golden Bay Mountain Goats nearly promoted as well. They'll be rapt about that versus Motueka. And that's at the Takaka Rec Ground. So, yeah, going to be quite strong at home, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and big shout out for them. They came up to that league. They didn't win the league. They were offered the chance to come up and they took it with open arms, and fair play to them for stepping up and making sure there wasn't a bye in the top division. So massive shout out and thanks to them for that.
Yeah. And Motueka always competitive as well, aren't they? Yeah. So that should be a good match.
That will be a very good game.
Yeah.
And we can say that's a derby, yeah? Are we close enough to be a derby?
Yeah, I would say it's derby, isn't it?
We'll start it. It's the new derby. Golden Bay.
I think you get some pushback on that, Skippy.
Yeah, it's a derby.
I think when you look at all the matchups in that first round, they're all going to be decent games. I mean, over in Blenheim with Suburbs and FC Nelson, Springton, Tahuna, Richmond, Carini, and the Mountain Goats and Motueka. All great fixtures for the first round.
I think you'll find maybe that hill is a divide. So we'll see. We'll put it out there.
We'll put it out there.
The question is it a derby?
Yes.
He might have upset half of
No,
I think he
No,
has.
we'll see
I
if
think he has. Personally, I think he has. Okay, let's get on to the Southern League Women and the results from last week. And NW United, which is Nomads and Waimak, I always forget that.
Yep.
Nomads, Waimak, Kashmir Technical 7-0. Selwyn United 8-0 going down to Universities of Canterbury. Some big scores there. Coastal Spirit Football Club and Nelson Suburbs 2, Horswell United 1. What a great win. So Geese will be very happy.
Yeah, I spoke to a couple of the girls at training last night and just asked how the game went. And funnily enough, some of them were saying that they could have played better. They actually played Halswell pre-season as well, which was a good game down at Saxons. But yeah, so to get the win and off to a good start, and if you haven't played to the best of your abilities, by all accounts, then that bodes well for the season. For the
Yeah,
girls.
it does. Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. So, Geezer, talk much about the game? Or
Yeah, again, he just said it was a tight first game. Everyone was a bit edgy, and it was closely contested. And again, it was good to see Jill Morgan, who's new to the squad and new to the club, at later in her footballing career, come off the bench and score the winner. So shout out to Jill for that, coming on and making an impact. So yeah, now again, Geezer they'll get better game by game, but yeah, all they've got to do at the moment is make sure that they can go out and play to the best abilities and see where that leaves them at the end of the season.
let's look at the lineup for this week. And Selwyn United have a bye. Kashmir Technical taking on Coastal Spirit. Now, they had a bye last week, so
Yeah, that's a huge game.
it is. It'll be quite strong for both, won't it? But any thoughts there? Kashmir winning 7-0.
Yeah, Kashmir are very strong. They brought in quite a few players. Coastal didn't have a coach in pre-season for a team that's had so many title wins and Chatham Cup wins, and for them not to have a coach. Sorry, I mean Ket Shepherd, the women's version of the Chatham Cup, for not to have a coach. So they've had a sort of not the greatest pre-season. So Take will go in after a 7-0 win with loads of confidence. That'll be interesting to see the end of that. Yeah, what the score is.
Universities of Canterbury taking on Horswell. Big win against Selwyn, Neil. So what are your thoughts on that?
Looking at that one after University start against Selwyn, obviously Halswell getting beat off our girls. You can't see past Universities there, but just on the day, isn't it? I mean, teams are going to get better as the season goes on. But for me, yep, it's got to be a Universities win then, I think, at home.
Nelson Suburbs home. That is 2:00 on Sunday, and they're taking on NW United. So yeah, they'll be looking to build on that, and going down 7-0 United. So Geezer might be feeling a little bit more confident going into that game, potentially.
Yeah, again, with being a new team and being a combined, they're pretty much of an unknown. I wouldn't be taking too much into the Cash Tech game, because Cash Tech, I feel, are in a different level in that league personally. So Geezer will go in with the approach that they need to turn up, I think, and make sure that they do everything they need to do, because that could be a potential banana skin if they go in with the wrong mindset. And so hopefully the girls can get up for it and get a home win and start the home campaign off well.
Yeah. I wouldn't read. Yeah, like Skip says, Kashmir Technical can do that to any team in that league on their day if you don't turn up. But yeah, 2 wins out of 2 for the Suburbs girls, I think.
So make sure you turn up 2:00 on Sunday and support the home team. Southern League men and some results from last week. Nomads United 2-0 over Dunedin City Royals. Kashmir Tech 12-0 over FC 20.
It's not looking good for them.
Me thinks it's going to be a tough season unless some troops are brought in. Universities of Canterbury just going down to Selwyn United. Selwyn will be pretty happy with that, wouldn't they? I'd imagine.
Unis were 1-0 up to the 78th minute.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
2 late goals from Selwyn. Yep. So that was a tight game, very tight game, and good win for Selwyn away from home.
And Christchurch United only just getting over Ferrymead Bays, so 4-3.
Yeah, that's another one. 3-1 up at halftime, Ferrymead Bays.
Wow.
Yeah.
11 minutes left, still 3-1.
So maybe Christchurch went in a bit light and a bit too confident. And
yeah, props to Alan Walker at Ferrymead Bays. He's always gets good results against Christchurch United. He made them sweat a couple of times last year when Paul Eiffel was the coach there. So it looked like he got his game plan completely right. And then unfortunately, the last 15 minutes, it sort of got away from them. But he'll take a lot of positives from that, because Christchurch are a good side. So yeah, it'll be one of those that got away, I'd say.
So sounds like a weekend of craziness, because your game was pretty crazy, wasn't
Yeah.
it? So Nelson Suburbs took on Coastal Spirit, and it was 3-3, but you had to come back, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we dug it out in the end. Yeah, not to be fair, it was the game started off chaos, and credit to Coastal because they come and put us right under the pump, and we kind of couldn't get into a rhythm the way I know starting last week against 2011, totally different game, but yeah, we just rushed a few things and made some unforced errors, but Coastal Spirit, a good side this season, a lot of new players in, and they've got Cash Tech this weekend, so I think that's probably the tie of the round there, but they'll do well this season.
Yeah, because I didn't notice one of the goals was dead giveaway in the sense that the defence gave them the ball.
Yeah.
Pretty much lost the ball. But, also a penalty right towards the end, which was saved.
Saved, yeah. Nick did very well with his save
Yeah.
mind games. So I'm going to talk you through this because I think it's absolute genius. So the penalty was given. The taker picked up the ball, went to the spot. Nick went over and took his glove off and goes, "Where do you want me to put my glove so you can aim for it?" So Nick's then gone back into the net, put his glove on the left side of Nick, and then he's dived to his right and saved it with his non-glove hand. So absolute genius. But I don't know how many times he's done it, how many times it's actually worked.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Danny, the player who missed it, we know very well. Danny played for Cash Tech and Fermi Bays, and he strikes the ball so well, and that's the worst contact I've ever seen him make with a football. So maybe it was mind games, but fair play to Nick. He pulled the save out.
And a pressure penalty too, isn't it? Because that could have won the game.
That was game over, yeah.
So as Neil said, we weren't the best that we can be. We're a wee bit off, and they did that. That was their plan to disrupt us. But what we showed, and I said to the guys after the game, is that a year ago we would have lost that game.
Right. Yeah.
But we showed a little bit more mentality and a little bit more battle, and really good point for the boys in the end up.
Yeah, huge credit goes to the lads to fight back and go all the way. And it was a bit of controversy at the end there with a lot of extra time being played as well.
I noticed that, like 104 minutes.
We had a chat with the referee, Robbie, the coach, and he kind of explained that. But I think I don't know what was going on there. But credit to our boys, they went right to the end, and I think looking at it, a point's probably a fair result in the end. It
was a bit like the Chelsea Man U game, isn't it? Geezer said it should have been.
Yeah.
It was 104 minutes. You don't really know how
we just don't know anymore in football, I don't think, how long they're going to play. Because again, we lost the fourth and fifth twice.
Yeah.
He told us 9 minutes, and then the ref told our player on the pitch there was 12 minutes. And you're just like,
I think it was actually 4 minutes when I asked. They said 4 minutes plus whatever the referee puts on. Because when they hold the board up, that's just the minimal. So it's then up to the referee
to add what he wants
if there's been any stoppages, any fouls, any.
But I would have thought. My perception was that when there's a stoppage, he stops the clock.
Yeah,
and that's where you get the overtime. But, but if they're guessing, I mean, that's a bit.
I'm a bit confused by it all.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah. The Coastal. Robbie Stanton was asking questions at the end about it as well, and rightly so, because if you know that much time left, he can make another substitution. He can do other things too.
They could have won it on the penalty.
They could have won it, absolutely. And
for all young goalkeepers out there, take your glove off, go at the corner, and see how you get on.
Right. Let's look at the draw for this weekend. And Needham City Royals taking on Ferrymead. So Ferrymead will be pretty buoyed, won't they?
Yeah, the Needham Royals they've been the last 3 years. They've been right up there, but 2 losses in a row for them. It's unheard of, to be honest. So again, with the university down there, maybe they've had players leave after their 4 years and they haven't had the bigger pull come through. Yeah, but that'll be a battle, that one. And again, Bays will be happy, I think. Not happy that they lost last week, but the way they played. So that could be a tie. That could be an away win for Ferrymead.
We'll come back to your game, but FC 2011 taking on Nomads, and they'll be soul searching, won't they? FC 20.
Yeah, terrible start for them, and that's going to be a difficult season for them all the way through. Nomads, very young side, very good side. Can't see past Nomads there again.
Christchurch United taking on Universities of Canterbury, and they probably won't be going into this game mentally lighthearted, will they?
Yeah. Again, it's one of them for unis. It's that time of the year, holidays. How many players are going to have?
Right.
It's tough when you coach a university side, because I've had a friend who coached the team previously a few years ago, and holiday times, you just don't know who's here. So hopefully they don't have too many away, and they can give Christchurch United a really good game. But again, yeah, Ryan, the coach of Christchurch, won't take it lightly after what happened last week. I think, yeah, they'll go in with a different mindset for that one.
The Coastal Spirit versus Kashmir Technical. Boy, what a game that
What
will
a
be.
game.
Tie of the round, absolutely 100%. Speaking to Robbie again, the coach of Coastal Spirit afterwards, really looking forward to it. They're a big physical side, Coastal, and Tech also, got a bit about them. So, yeah, it's going to be a banger. And to predict that one, gosh.
That's on the Sunday as well. So
Yeah,
hopefully that'll be on FIFA Plus.
Yes.
And it should be, because I think it's going to be
Well,
a brilliant game of football.
And I have to give that a plug because I noticed highlights for your game was on FIFA Plus. So I downloaded the app, and you can get just about any game in the world on it.
Superb.
It's unbelievable.
It's superb.
It's fantastic. I mean, the guys were down there. We only found out a week before they wanted to show the game. And what New Zealand Football have done, they've highlighted a few clubs around the country and they come in and install a camera. It's permanently fixed on the roof of Suburbs club rooms down there. And we're down there all day fitting that up. And it's just a game changer. It gives a lot more coverage to the league, and as you say, it's got all sorts of football on there, all around the world.
And a big shout out to Danny Walsh and Brendan Hodgson.
I was wondering who the commentators
with their commentary debut. So the boys did really well.
I actually thought they did a good job. I think who's this guy? He actually commentated quite well.
Yeah, Gavin Sell called me up and he was like, it was quite refreshing because it's a bit of background information, and wasn't just commentating on the game. They were making it interesting.
So they loved it. So they're looking forward to doing the next one. So
right, nice.
We might have to get you on as a guest commentator, Chris, for that. We'll put that one in there as well.
Well, it put me to shame. I used to do National League years ago. Me and John Bryden, and but there was no ums and ahs. I tend to and ah a lot, but they were pretty smooth. I thought they did a good job.
He does it for the Bulls. He's very highly involved with that, and he does a lot of the commentary on the Bulls New Zealand page as well. So there's one man for the job. It's Brendan Hodgson.
Nice, 100%. Good job. Well done, lads. Okay, Saturday you're travelling down to Foster Park to take on Selwyn United, and Selwyn will be feeling pretty good about themselves, beating Universities of Canterbury. So, going to be an interesting game.
Always tough, I'd
imagine.
Always tough. It was even tougher before they put the turf in, because it didn't matter how sunny it was windy as anything, because it just rips through. But
actually, I just noticed that it's on the turf. So,
so
tell us a little bit about that and the difference.
Yeah, so their turf is literally directly opposite their big indoor centre, so you don't get as much wind through it. But their field that they used to play on is literally open, wild open, so it did affect the game quite a bit. But their turf's one of the newer ones. It's a lot faster than the older turfs. The boys seem to like it. It's a little bit better than the one at English Park, which the boys find a little bit slower. Same with Christchurch United. And it's brilliant to play on. I must admit, if you're football inside and you want to play, you can't ask for anything more.
Does it bounce less? Is that the idea, or is it?
It's uneven.
Hard to explain.
It's hard to read it.
It's kind of longer. It's like a bit of more of a carpet.
Yeah, so
it's longer.
Does it tend to skid a bit
when it's wet?
Right.
It zings off the
but it's got a different filler in it as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, so they use so a lot of the old pitches have the black rubber balls, which people have gone and done. Scientists have proved that it might link to health issues and stuff. So now a lot of them are now cork. There's now an eco one, which is literally just bark trimmed right down and just scattered over a pitch. So they are finding ways to try to improve it. Again, I know they get a lot of use out of it, mainly for training as well. But yeah, they've loved it. They've had it now since the 4th year, I think they've had it. And yeah, they're playing a lot of games on it in the Saturdays with the juniors and stuff. So
interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right. But tell us about the game. So going into that, what's your expectations?
Well, win, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we kick on from last week and hopefully a bit more of a performance like week one. So Selwyn going to be difficult. They played Coastal Spirit week one. And Coastal give them a bit of a turning over, actually 7-0, but I wouldn't read too much into that. Teams, as I said, like the women's, the teams will get better as the season goes on, and Selwyn, we found it difficult down in the past. I think we're down there game 1 last year and we lost that game.
4-2.
And but we take a strong squad down there, we'll be looking to the next couple of weeks. Selwyn University is both away trips. That's, if we want to have any aspirations, that's got to be 6 points for us.
Good. Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Looking forward to that. Overseas news and Champions League that was played overnight or this morning. Real Madrid, Man City 3-3, and then Arsenal 2-2 with Bayern. So,
Unreal.
I didn't see any of the games, but
well, City were 3-1 down, I think.
Yeah, they were.
Man City were 3-1 down, pulled it back to 3-3. Newcastle were Arsenal were 1-0 up. Went 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. So second legs will be interesting.
Yeah, I watched the last 30 minutes. I was flicking between the two, and I watched the last 30 minutes of the Arsenal Bayern game, and Arteta made 2 changes that changed the game to get them within a good shout of win that he brought on. Was it Toussaint and
The left winger and no, Martinelli wasn't there. Nketiah?
No. Who was it? Jesus.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Yep.
So they came on and actually set up the second goal, and from then on in, I mean, Bayern looked really, really, they were just hitting them on the counter, But yeah, looking at that one now, gosh, Bayern at home, Allianz Arena. You think Man City at home against Madrid?
Yeah.
But some of the goals in that Madrid game, that was unbelievable. It was unbelievable
Foden's
goals.
was unbelievable.
And then it was just, I mean, what an advert. That's why it's the best league in the world, isn't it? The Champions League, and that's why everybody watches it. But yeah, I'll go for Bayern and Man City, I think, after watching that.
Yeah, Bayern would be difficult at home, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
New Zealand football, and you kind of missed this one. I remember looking on New Zealand football news a couple of weeks back, and they were talking about the men's game, but I didn't see anything about Ferns. And then next thing, Geezer's popped up, and he's taking the girls to the Thailand game.
They went and watched the first game, which was 4-0, and the girls loved it. So it was a really good game. And then I didn't realize there was a second one until my wife told me that they were on again last night. So yeah, good. Yeah,
but they feel a little bit disappointed by the sounds of it, and a little draw and 22 chances at goal.
Yeah,
they just couldn't get it in the back of the net.
I was talking to Skip about it coming here. We finished training, and we got back home, and it was on. I think it must have been a late on Prime, and I watched the last 30 minutes of that game. New Zealand just they battered them really. They went over 20 shots on goal. Just the final third, just couldn't find the back of the net really. But then Thailand were going down at every single opportunity, killing the game. And it made it really difficult for them. But New Zealand will be disappointed with that, I think.
Well, Thailand, obviously, if you get beaten 4-0, they'll be going in saying, well, how can we at least
approve it?
Keep them out, but perhaps get them on the hot, which they had a couple of chances, but not much came to fruition. But it's just one of those frustrating games. I mean, I've been involved in games where you're absolutely dominating it, and you can't get the ball in the back of the net. And all of a sudden, they go down the other end
and score
the winner.
That's right. Happens quite a lot, doesn't it?
Okay, Phoenix men, and they took on the Central Coast Mariners in Wellington, and what a game that was. Ended up being 1-1, and then the last minute, that guy outside the box, bang. What a great goal to win it. And then there was Piney. I was listening to Piney on News Talk ZB with his wrap up, and he said, look, I've got to tell you, it's not doom and gloom. It's not the end of the world.
Of course.
Because everyone was saying, well, that's we're not going to win the cup.
They've been the top for the whole season. One slip up's not going to.
That's right, and they're still ace. I mean, they're equal on points. They are second now because of goal difference. We've still got the grand final to go. So Piney had to explain it to everybody about the way the structure works, and the fact that we've never been in that position before, and not only that, we've got still got a chance to win the league, and we've still got a chance to win the cup.
And the good thing is, the next game's at home.
Yes,
to Melbourne, which is brilliant that it's back here, and I think they'll get back on that horse pretty quick.
I think Piney did explain that Mariners do have a slightly better draw because Phoenix do have a couple of tough ones. One being Melbourne Victory, they're third. But it's on Friday, 7:00 at the Wellington Regional Stadium. So, what attitude will they have? I mean, there is that thing where you peak all season. We see it in NRL, but then when it comes to the grand finals, unlike Penrith, they aren't able to go through the grand final because they're not peaking at the right time. So it could be a case that, well, if you aren't performing at the top every week towards the end, it gives you an opportunity to recheck. Get an uppercut, reassess, and then go into those grand finals. So it's not always a bad thing having.
And that's why Friday's so important.
Yeah.
You can get beat by Melbourne and then go, Central Coast and then go beat third place.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Yeah.
I think a lot of confidence back in the squad, and yeah, they'll be keen to get a win on Friday.
Yeah, but I
Definitely.
think they'll do it. I think they'll get up for that. But no matter what, it's been a fantastic season for the Wellington
Oh,
Phoenix.
isn't it?
And going on to next year when you've got the new franchise coming in, just makes it really, really exciting for New Zealand football in general with the A-League and things like that as well.
Yeah, the derbies. Can't wait for the derby.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be interesting.
Split fans.
as I said, Wellington equal on points, sitting second on a points difference. Premier League, and we'll go through the draw. There is one result I'll talk about, but the draw for this week: Newcastle and Tottenham, Brentford and Sheffield United, Man City and Luton, Nottingham Forest and Wolves, Burnley and Brighton, Bournemouth and Man U, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Fulham, Chelsea and Everton, and Arsenal and Aston Villa. So what are we thinking the game of the round there? Arsenal, Aston Villa seems like.
Yeah, I'm an Aston Villa
match.
fan. The weekend, come on, Villa.
Yeah, Newcastle Tottenham stands out as well.
Actually, yes, that'll be it. And they had a win against Fulham, and Tottenham had a win as well.
Yeah,
but probably the big one, which Geezer and Skippy were setting up last week, was Man U and Liverpool.
Yeah.
So what happens there? Is it double or quits, or is it a bear each way?
Oh, just frustrated. Like Geezer told me he was going to turn it off at half time because he had seen enough of how bad United were, and then we seem to just take a foot off the pedal. I read a stat yesterday. Liverpool have had 92 shots against Man United in 3 games and won none of them. I don't tell you something. It's absolutely ridiculous.
But they did do another comeback, didn't they? They had to get the equaliser towards the end.
And that's the thing. Liverpool had chances to put it away in the first half, and they should have, and they didn't. And you do that at Old Trafford, and they get one, then they get the crowd behind them, and then they get a second and go 2-1 up. But again, Liverpool got back into it with another penalty, which United fans aren't happy about.
This is going right down to the wire, isn't it? You've got the top 5 there. I mean, Tottenham 4th place now. Aston Villa played 1 game more, 60 points. 71 to 2. Top ones, Arsenal, Liverpool. I think there'll be a few twists and turns.
And Aston Villa, Arsenal. I say I'm going to be a Villa fan this weekend. That's a tough game. Aston Villa,
yeah.
And the other spice in it is that's Arsenal's old coach. It's Emery.
Yeah, right.
It's Emery. So if there's anyone who wants to wreck the party, it's the boy that got sacked. So he's going to be up for it, and he's going to be the party pooper and try to rain in their parade. So
the clubs down the bottom as well, they'll be fighting for it. Everton with another 2-point deduction.
I know
they've just had it tough, But Luton are surprised us this season. I mean, they're down there at the bottom, but they've pulled out some results along the way. So that's going down to the wire.
Well, Burnley and Sheffield, it looks bloody tough for them, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then really now it's Luton, Nottingham Forest, Everton, and Brentford out of the woodwork.
Surprised to see them down there.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's the big one for me.
Good side at home, Brentford.
Very good team, and they've been sort of dragged into it a little bit. So.
I mean, they're only 4 points ahead of Nottingham Forest.
I don't think you're safe on 29.
No.
So, I don't. I think they could, and even Palace could be slightly dragged back into it as well. So that could be a few changes there.
And then there's quite a skip to Fulham.
9 points.
So
I think Sheffield United are gone. Yeah, Burnley, you would say, you're going to find it tough. So it's between the other 3 or 4 there. You're looking at Luton, Forest, Everton. Brentford, surprisingly enough, Skip says, and Crystal Palace as well.
They're so up and down.
It's just
so up and down.
Big games ahead.
That's tough in the Premiership, that's for sure.
100%.
So what's your who do you follow any particular team in this league? Or
I'm a Celtic supporter from Glasgow. So
there's no way of even slightly crossing the border and supporting anyone.
No, I just enjoy. Enjoy watching all the games. It's apart from the Champions League, it is the best league in the world.
And I haven't even got the Scottish League on here. So where's Celtic at the moment?
We had the Old Firm Rangers Celtic at the weekend. 3-3.
Yeah, sat up and watched that 3-3. Celtic 2-0 up, should have at half time. Probably a couple of contentious penalty decisions, but fair play to Rangers. They came back out in the second half, and we should have had the game over and done with it then. But brought it back, and then Rangers. We go 3-2 up, don't we?
Yep.
3-2 up, 87 minutes.
Yep.
And then Rangers get an equaliser 90.
90.
Oh,
But it's an
geez, what a game.
excellent advert for the game because Scottish football's come under a bit of pressure lately. Like people talk about the standards and with Celtic and Rangers, but we've got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know if you've seen it with Dundee's pitch at the minute. It's an absolute shambles.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, there's games. I think they've postponed 4 games this season, and great advert for Scottish football. It was back to like the old days.
Yeah, and it's nice and tight. I think there's a point between them.
Yeah.
Well,
Rangers play Dundee. Well, the Duke play Dundee at Dens Park on Wednesday. Whether that game goes on or not, because I say the pitch is horrific. That's their game in hand. That'll put them, if they win that, put them
2 points
2 points clear. And it's going to come down to final full game because the league splits in Scotland, so top 6.6. So Celtic they'll play Rangers at Celtic Park, and it'll probably come down to that one. Yeah. That's going to be.
It's good
Try
to see.
and get a ticket for that.
Yeah, good to see though, because they've been Celtic have dominated the last few years, apart from when Steven Gerrard won it. But yeah, it's good to see it's going right to the end as well. I think it will do in that league as well. So it's good for Scottish football, and with the national team doing well as well.
Oh yeah, I mean they're in the Euros, and
Yep.
the girls had a win.
Yep.
1-0 in the Euro qualifiers.
Slovakia, was it?
Yeah,
Yep.
Slovakia. Yeah, 1-0. So yeah.
Good.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So so maybe some of the infrastructure, maybe it's money that needs to be poured into the infrastructure.
I think a lot
But
of
certainly the determination of the teams. I mean, the national sides are doing all right.
a lot of the players are now playing in the Premier League. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it used to be dominated by Rangers and Celtic players, but a lot of them playing at the top level, players from Serie A, things like that as well. So we've been on a bit of a rocky one lately. I think we've won in 7 after the good run we went on.
Yeah, you
Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
He was
1-0.
Beat them
Beat them in Scotland as
In
well.
Scotland.
as well.
In Scotland.
Yeah, so it was just a friendly anyway.
Nah, they all count, mate.
Didn't mean anything.
They all count, Chris. Every one of them.
You put out the second string, so boy, that Northern Ireland went away happy.
Well,
Yeah.
you said Andrew Robinson's second string, Liverpool left back.
Come back from injury.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, look, thanks very much for coming in, guys. Thanks, Neil. It's great. Good luck with the Suburbs team this
Thank
year.
you very much. Pleasure.
Yeah, I hope you can keep this man in line. And
He's a tough one
On the
to keep
straight
in
and
line,
narrow,
but we
you know.
try our best.
Yeah.
I think they're doing a great job. If we're going to get
Yeah.
somebody in to do it, Skip, he's the man. So yeah,
nice.
it's been good luck.
Well,
for the
it
rest of the shows.
sounds positive with the squad this year. All reports. So hopefully get a few results. But you got to do it on the day, don't you?
You got to. We
That's-
just talking about it. The boys train. The training is unbelievable, and
Right.
you just got to put it in the competition on the weekend.
Yeah.
But we've got a bigger squad this year, haven't we?
Yeah,
It's going to be a few
47 at training last.
And you're saying that
decisions.
competition with the guys that are playing in the local first division, there's competition for spots. So that's healthy. That's great.
That's what you need.
That's
what
looking
you
good.
need.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right. My thanks to the Turf Hotel, also Neil Connell and Brian Skippy Stewart, and of course Bays Joinery for their support. You can catch this and other podcasts on mbstalknelson.co.nz, our social media channels, and Spotify. You can search that under MBS Talk Nelson. We'll see you again next week on the Bays Joinery Football Focus.
What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.